and I think a certain degree of minimalism to an electronic music track is really necessary to make it sound good. Good morning guys, it's a nice Sunday morning. I'm getting all ready for work, which means going to the studio and making music for the entire day. And I'm really happy to wear my sushi socks for the very first day. And it's snack-free day number 6. I don't know if you can see it, but I lost a little bit of weight, maybe 4 or 5 pounds, not only because I didn't have any snacks. I also tried to work out every morning for half an hour, and now I'm one size of pants down. I tried yesterday to buy new ones, but actually all of my old pants fit me now, which is great, because back in the days I spent a whole lot of money on jeans. As you know, the past couple of days I've been struggling in the studio to finish the Final Warnings track. I think it's now pretty much done, at least for now, and today I actually want to go back to another track of mine that I actually already finished, the Fall track with the Scottish singer and songwriter that I really like. I kind of learned new things, and I think there is still room to improve it. I think the track is a little too crowded. The mixing could be a tiny bit better, or at least trying to get the mixing fixed. I don't know what's wrong with the weather, but it dropped really so low. I almost forgot my charger, and without it I could only work maybe an hour in the studio and had to come back here. So good that I have it with me. So all ready for the studio, let's go. So working on the Fall track, already opened the project. I already started working on it a little bit yesterday, or actually today in the morning at 5. I was still up working on it, and I just changed the things in the arrangement to change the flow of the track, because it didn't really work. The track already started with all of the drums like kick, clap, hi-hat, the bass, the piano, and it was just too much. If you start a track with so many elements, you of course need to build up the track over 3 minutes, or if it's a club track, over 6 minutes. And if you already start with so many elements, there will be very soon the point where it's too crowded, because if you add on top of the hi-hats and the clap another hi-hat to make it appear a little bit faster and just have something to add, it might be already too crowded just at the beginning of the very first chorus. So I stripped down the entire first minute of this track. It was full with drums. I deleted all of them. It now just starts with the piano, the guitar, and then the vocals are added.
Did you waste our only sign? Was it ever worth my mind?
So this way I can fade in the bass, have here another arpeggiator element and a guitar that is a little bit differently edited to change up the track, keep it interesting, and then a drop into the pre-chorus, have different vocals here on top, and then it drops to the chorus where for the very first time the kick is actually introduced. This way you can keep the track way more minimalistic, which actually makes it easier to mix. You will end up with a better sounding track at the end, and I also think it doesn't get too hectic, too cluttered, and with too many elements. For example, in this track I had like the main chorus already with kick, clap, off hi-hat, then introduced a shaker, and then on top of that something that was like percussive, giving it a rhythm, and then even more elements. And this was already too much. It just gets too busy, too hectic, and especially if you have too many drum elements or too many loops out of sample packs and stack them, you lose the groove, you lose the focus on the vocals or the guitar in this track, and it will just not sound good. And I really think it's one of the keys to making a good EDM track is just having it minimal, just have less elements playing at the same time We all know those nice club tracks that just have after the drop a kick, a bass, and they just work. This of course doesn't mean to make your tracks one-dimensional, just kick and bass. You can still have a lot of elements in the track, just not playing all at the same time. And if you have vocals in a track, you even have to be more careful with having elements in the track, because the vocals are the main star of the track. And here in my fall track, I really loved the vocals, and it was too cluttered. As you might remember, on this one I did another session and had a singer singing to it, replaced it. Then I started working just on an instrumental, and whenever you just work on an instrumental, you usually end up with having too many elements in it and not thinking about leaving space for the vocals. Now back to stripping down this track further to have the vocals in the main focus of the track. And also when your track gets more minimal, it will be a lot more important to do the sound design right, to just have the few elements that stay, be as huge, as nice, as catchy as possible. And also this way I have more elements that I can spread throughout the track and keep it interesting, have more change in it, change the piano chords from sustained 1 bar long chords to just quarters to make it a little bit more groovy, and try to solve everything with musical ideas instead of trying to fix it with the mixing. I always think you should try to solve problems in a track the musical way. For example, if kick and bass are colliding, try maybe out playing different notes or playing the bass in a different rhythm. Because back in the days, people didn't really use sidechaining, they just played the bass so that it didn't collide with the kick. A lot of old techno tracks just have a bass that is playing in the offbeat, and it's working fine. So at the end, I think you will always end up with a better track if you improve the musical things instead of trying to fix everything just with the mixing. It's not the key to everything. I set myself an alarm clock for 8. I worked the entire day just on this track. I had to do the mixing all over again now that I erased a couple of parts. It changes a lot, it opens a lot, there's more space. You can use a tiny bit more reverb to cover that space and make everything sound very nice and polished. In a little business break, I also took care organizing the next session that I have with a singer and songwriter. I think in 10 or 12 days, someone is coming from the UK. It will be a whole lot of fun. I'm pretty sure we will work on 2 tracks, maybe even 3. And I hope before that to finish the final warning track. And there's also the second track with Aaron called Open Your Eyes that I also want to finish before I'm recording the next tracks. I also took care of some organizational things I can't really talk about right now. I hope to be able to announce everything next week or maybe in 2 weeks as soon as possible. I'm really just waiting to tell you. Also, I still didn't hear back from the person that won these headphones, so the new giveaway will take place also in 1 or 2 weeks. But now it's just time to head back home. Vanessa's already waiting and we have to organize some things that have to do with our journey to the US. I think it starts on the 12th of May, Miami, then Washington DC, then Niagara Falls, just 1 day, and then to New York, 5 more days. So really excited about it. We just need to book 1 or 2 more hotels and then we will be all done with the planning. My Accents music project is also getting further. The website should be also done within a week or 2. And I just got an email from Isotope. They're also planning another giveaway with me, which will be really exciting. Probably just some free plugins. But who doesn't love free plugins? Okay, already all done. I still didn't lose my AirPods up until now, which is even surprising me. Pretty cool and productive day for a Sunday, and someone lost his Star Trooper helmet. I get home, time for dinner. I think it's about time to eat snacks again. Even my old pants are way too big for me, they're almost falling down. Or I could just get new pants in the US. Very important. That's the receipt for the SD cards, just in case I break it again.